guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome to the Fifth Trooper Podcast. I'm Owen, and with me is my co-pilot, and a little bit less hair than I'm used to there. It's Isaac. Isaac, how's it going, man?
It's going well. We did trim the beard ever so slightly.
In solidarity, I cut my hair as well, so we're the less scraggly podcast for this week. This week we're going to be talking about some of the new releases, including the new Battle Forces. But before we get into all of that, hey, the Fifth Trooper Podcast was made possible by donations from listeners like you. Please consider subscribing over at patreon.com/thefifthtrooper. It allows us to do fun things like this. And if you're already a wonderful subscriber, thanks. We appreciate it. Shout out to the new people that have joined us in the past year, because you help pay us to do this, so it's your fault, really. And for those that want the next episode of the keywords, don't worry, we haven't abandoned it. We will do more, but we just felt like we wanted to do something a little more timely this week. So don't worry, there will be more keywords. We haven't given up on it. We just wanted to talk about some of these releases before they actually hit in the next couple of weeks here, and also talk Battle Forces, both the new Battle Forces and also just kind of in general. So let's dive into that, Isaac. Let's get into the things that are coming out. And I will say that there's a lot of stuff that is being reprinted. We are ignoring all of the reprints. There's a bunch of reprints. If you'd like to see what is being reprinted, go look over at the Asmodee site. You can filter by new, and you can see all the stuff that's up for pre-order. And there's a lot of good stuff that's being reprinted that is coming out. Highly recommend for people getting access to the things that they need for their armies that way. But we're talking about the new stuff here. So the new, right? Isaac, what do we got first on that list coming out here?
Yeah, I think we have... before I guess the Battle Force boxes, we have the probe droids coming out. So for individual units, we can just list them off here. So we have the Imperial probe droid. That's going to shake some things up. We got the wheel bikes, the generic ones, and the wheel
bikes are coming out in just a short time here.
Yeah.
Which we've already seen Grievous's wheel bikes. This is not Grievous's wheel bike. This is the other wheel bikes. This is his like entourage group of wheel bikes. March 20th is when we have the wheel bikes and also the new battle cards with the Battle Deck 2. And then just a couple weeks after that is when we have all of the Hoth-based fun stuff. We will have the Echo-based Defenders Force and Blizzard Force coming out on April 3rd, along with the Hauntons, the Tauntauns, the Imperial High Command, and also the Imperial Probe Droids. And rounding out the pre-orders currently is in April 17th is when we have Hondo Onaka and the Weequays Pirates. I also assume that the tank will be somewhere in there as well. I think we're probably going to see Hondo in the Weequays with also their tank. We just don't have that confirmed that is April 17th US date yet, but that is coming. So yeah, we just wanted to dive in a little bit into this, just to chat. Let's talk about the bikes first, because the bikes are the things that are coming the soonest.
Yeah, I'm like scared and super excited for the bikes too, because we don't have the points yet, so we don't know like how this is gonna like shake everything up. But it is going to look so cool to have like Grievous. And it's like you can technically have 8 of these bikes because there's 2 per squad, and he has entourage. So you have like 9 wheel bikes.
That's so much. That's just so much biking.
You're just gonna show up and like, hey, I'm here to just run stuff over, get wrecked. Yeah.
Like talk about your BMX there. Like that's so much bike. I'm excited to see it. I really enjoy this. I think that anytime you get a chance to play your faction in a different light is always fun. I think that's why the Battle Forces have always been such a hit, is exactly that same thing. But we're not talking about Battle Forces yet. We're talking about everything else.
It's gonna look great on the table though. Like it's one that like I'm excited for whenever somebody gets it painted up locally here. It's gonna be a great like pull people in army. You know, like everybody likes to see the big vehicles and stuff on the table. Like they're gonna be like, what is that list with 9 bikes running around? I don't even care if it's good. It's gonna be it's just gonna look so cool. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like I'm very excited to see that and see all of the things that those bikes do. So that's going to be coming as well with the new battle deck, which is going to have new missions.
Very excited.
Which everybody loves. New primaries, new secondaries, all of that jazz. I'm very excited to see those actually hit. And again, you can print all of those out at home for free, and you don't need to buy this. As a friendly reminder to those at home,
you don't have to.
You don't have to. Yeah. Like,
very excited
I understand if you don't want to spend $30 on this. I'm going to, because I like having cardboard, but I'm also a Magic player, and so this does nothing to me. This is a drop in the Magic bucket, you know, like whatever. The cardboard is life. So I'll buy it, and just so that way I have the official ones. But again, you don't have to. You can always just print those at home and save yourself the money, and no one will shun you for it. I never feel bad for anybody who prints them, or you know, I'm just like, oh, that person didn't buy the stuff. Who cares?
Nobody cares. Just play the
Nobody
game.
cares. Nobody cares. Yeah. It's fine. Print
also,
it out.
Quick PSA on this. It comes out, like, technically it's releasing just a little bit before Adepticon, and most people know this already, but it's not in play for Adepticon, so if you didn't know, don't worry. But I'm still very excited for just the objectives to be shook up. It's gonna really, I think it's gonna breathe some life into the game, just to have some new game modes to play. The Outflank and Supply Drop, the ones they spoiled, are already like creating a lot of waves, and we're like, whoa, this is so drastically different from anything we had to begin with, and I'm really excited to see what the other cards are gonna be. I know there's a little bit of speculation. We've seen some deployment zones and like art and stuff, so like there's some there's some rumors.
Contact is the one that's got like the crazy deployment zone.
Yeah, that's gonna be so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I came out of a tournament a couple weeks ago, and I was able to play the new secondary in that tournament in a round, and I won that second round specifically because of that secondary.
It can.
Like that supply secondary was crazy because I was able to stop my opponent from picking any of their supplies up, and then I brought all of them back to my side and scored all of them in round 4, and so I was able to like get the double points on it, and I was like, this is insane.
Yeah,
like,
there's 3 per, right? So that's 12. That's 12 VP just in the secondaries.
Like it was a lot.
It's insane. It's like the first secondary that we've had that you technically can just if you can get all of the secondary points, you can just disregard the primary. I don't think there's any other secondaries you can do that in and like actually hit 12.
Yeah, not that you can hit 12. I mean, there's definitely some that I would argue that if you focus the secondary that you win. The destroy enemy base one, because if you manage to destroy the enemy base, you get 4 victory points or something like that, which I was like, that is an insane boost. Like, if you manage to do that and stop the other person from doing that, as long as you're staying somewhat neck and neck on the primary, you win because of that. Like, you just get to shut the door on them.
Yeah, let me correct, but yeah, it's only 2 S, so you can score a maximum of 8 off the secondary, not 12. But still, 8 is still a huge swing. If you can manage to swing that, but it's cool.
It is a crazy amount of points, and so I'm excited to see that. I know that some people have mentioned that a lot of what they assume is coming here is just like reworks of stuff that we had before 2.6, which is fine. I'm okay with this. Like,
I mean, I would argue that what we've already seen is very different from anything that we had in old Legion. I mean, Supply Run is vaguely reminiscent of some old Legion objectives, but Outflank is like crazy. That's like not. I can't think of anything other than it happens to deploy on a short edge, like some of your units. Like it's really different from anything we've had. And then Contact looks way different from anything that I've ever seen too.
I'm waiting for some crazy like infiltration on Contact. Like that one is going to be really interesting to see how people build lists and try to incorporate how they're going to either defend or attack on that kind of thing. Like if they have a game plan for Contact, or if they're going to just be like, this is if someone else brings it, this is what I have to do to like shore up my side. Because like truly having infiltration, being able to have like your units so far up there is crazy. To have it away from the board edge like that, I'm like,
it's gonna create some really really dicey things. And I know that they've talked about like kind of revamping some of the old Legion objectives too, which I think there's gonna be a happy mix. But it definitely doesn't look like you're just straight up, all right, here's the old objectives from Legacy Legion, just reskin that doesn't look like what's happening. So hopefully it's a good mix, and I'm sure it'll be a good balance between all of that. And I know people have been wanting some new objectives and stuff for a little while now, so It is coming. It's gonna, you're gonna have a pretty rounded out objective set here.
Yeah, no, I think having more is going to be great, just because I think even in the more competitive end of things and the casual end of things, you can only play Recover the Research and Bunker Assault so many times.
I can only assault so many bunkers.
Yeah,
We've run the simulations.
Close the pocket. Like I'm good. I know them. Like
it's nice to shake some stuff up.
Yeah, I'm excited to have something that's shaken up, and I'm hoping to see some new kind of objectives of like maybe there's like some sort of like take and run kind of thing that we see where it's just like you have to grab something from like their side and bring it to your side. Again, I have no idea.
I do hope some extracts like supply run you could say is like an extra. It is an extract, so like I hope there's a few more of those. That used to be a really big part of Legacy Legion, that some characters like Maul, there's a lot of characters that like that was their jam. Cad Main, like they're like, these are the guys I bring to steal boxes and stuff, and can't really do that so much anymore.
I also really appreciate in Supply Run, and I hope that this becomes a thing in the broader aspect of new missions, and maybe reworking some of the current ones that we have, or like rewording it, is that in Supply Run, the fact that you have to choose to either take an action to pick up the box or use your actions to get to it or fight other people off of it is a huge decision point. I cannot stress enough how much fun I think it is because you have that option there, and it's not just a free action, because the free action always makes sense. The free action is always just like, oh, I'm near the point, I'm going to do the
snag it on the way over here.
Exactly. It's like, I will do the thing because it is free, and I will do the thing. Whereas, like, there is a cost analysis now of just, like, I could have my Cassian squad pick up this box, but do I really want them to not shoot that round, right? Like, there is a calculation there that you're now just like, I think sometimes the answer is to not actually do the objective and is to shoot the other person so they can't do the objective, and then allowing you to do it later on. Like, that's an entire thing.
Yeah, I mean, not to like keep talking about Legacy Legion, but that used to be like a big part of it. Like sometimes you would just bring units whose sole role in your list was to be cheap thumbs to like go pick stuff up. Like that was a thing. Yeah. I'm not saying we should go back to that, but it would be nice to see a little bit of it. I'm like, and you see that with like Supply Run. It's not crazy. It's still progressive.
I agree with you. I don't want to have that be the case. I don't want to go back to that point.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of just, it's like, well, like, give us sometimes having something.
A little healthy amount. Like, all the objectives at this point, like the main objectives seem to be like a progressive system. And so when you balance that with some of the more passive extract, not rush in and beat each other up in the middle, like I think it creates a good balance. But we'll see when it comes out.
And that again is on March 20th, and then let's talk about the other things that are happening in April here first. So of course we have the Tauntauns and the Hauntaun, and just to get those out of the way, I kind of hate the fact that the Hauntaun is $10 more than the Tauntauns. They look real similar, and it's the same amount of plastic, but for some reason one of these is $10 more, and I don't like that. I think that feels bad.
They had to do just a little bit more work on getting Han and Luke's facial structure on a minute. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it something like they're using, Mark Hamill's likeness, so they got to pay the extra?
They got to pay him royalties. That's what it is. Yeah, they got to pay him royalties. They got to pay Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill.
It just kind of feels bad when they look very similar to each other, and it's like, there's no way that this costs you more plastic. Like there's no physical thing in this box that this is worth the $10 more. And I think that feels bad. I know that we have nothing to complain about because you also have, looking over at the Imperial High Command, it's just four officers for $70.
They're going to be really good officers.
I mean, I don't think... I agree.
But yeah, it does feel bad to be like, when you're conditioned to like, ooh, here's my starter box for $100 and I get like a mountain of plastic, to like paying $20 less for 4 minis. You're like, not as much of a buzz off of that purchase.
Even if you're buying just like a regular squad of something for $50, and it's like, okay, you're getting what, like,
right? It's more.
You're getting
dudes.
like
you get
6
dudes,
guys, 6 to 10
now.
dudes, yeah, inside of that box, and that's only like $50 or so. And so here is, I mean, the Heroes of the Rebellion was the same thing. It's just like, yeah, here's $70 for 4 heroes, and it's like, I get that we're doing more on the heroes, right? There's a brand name on them that they do cost a little bit more, but when you have it so perfectly like next to each other that I'm just like, this just looks
space
bad,
them out
man.
on the website.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like put them out on different weeks or something, because when you're putting in context of like, hey, you could get half a battle force for yeah, I was like, man, for half a battle force I'm getting 4 things versus a battle force for double it, like,
yeah. One of these seems better
I
than
get
the other.
it. Yeah, but it just it becomes real obvious, and it just kind of was like, well, come on, man. Like, I know that we can't live in magical Christmas land where, excuse me,
is super cheap.
Yeah, like, like, we're not always going to be spoiled like the starters were. The starters, as they said, were lost leaders. They knew that they weren't going to make a ton of money off of those because they wanted to get those. Exactly. They wanted to get that into people's hands. And even the battle forces that we'll talk about here in a second, like, they're very well priced.
Yeah, they're
stuff that's in them.
Yeah, when we get they're a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that those things are good.
And I do
also
hope there's some like Taun overhaul a little bit with the launch of all this stuff. I wonder if we'll get a little bit of like Battle Force rules changes or something. I don't have any sort of, I don't know if that's going to be a thing, so I'm not trying to like put that out there, but I'd love to see some it'd be cool to see a lot of Tauntauns on the board again.
Yeah, let's knock out the Weequays so we can just talk about the battle forces already here. So like just the last thing that we've got confirmed on the pre-order list right now is that we've got the Hondo Ohnaka coming with the Weequay Pirates, and that's happening on April 17th for 55 American US dollars.
Nice.
And like that's coming with Hondo Ohnaka and an entire squad. So you're getting, what does it say, 11 plastic miniatures here. So without Hondo, if you instead of making Hondo, you make the other one there. Like
the captain leader, whatever.
Yeah, you've got a cool captain leader that you can make. I really appreciate that one of these has the little, like, ice cream machine thing that all of the credits are restored in. Like, I might buy this solely just so that way I can have that and mash that up with some stuff. But, like, yeah, like, I think this is cool. Shout out to the Weequays. I can't wait for their tank. Can't wait to see them on. Like this is neat. Yeah, 10 out of 10. That's gonna be fun once that comes out. All right, now back to the battle forces.
Yeah, we want to start with the Echo Force box.
Yeah.
I can go over like what's in here.
Yeah, so Echo Force box, you've got for $140. You're getting Leia, C-3PO, R2-D2, 2 Mark IIs, 20 Rebel Vets, which is really like 2 full squads.
2
with
super
like,
squads, yeah.
Yeah, it's two super squads. So it's the same way that they did the Rebel Troopers inside of the starter boxes of like you get 2 like leaders and 2 of the extra weapons or the heavy weapons, and then you just get like
a bunch of
extras of everything else, so that way you can super squad it up. So you'll end up getting 2 super squads of vets to go with your 2 Mark IIs, and then 1 set of Tauntauns. And that is the Echo Base Defender box. And I would like to say I'm a little disappointed in this.
Yeah, I feel similar. When you compare it to the previous one,
yes,
it has 4 squads of Rebel Vets, which is the same amount of Rebel Vet miniatures, I believe. Maybe there's a difference in 1 or 2, but notably you get 2 more FD cannons. Or, sorry, not FD, the Mark blasters, Mark IIs.
Yep, you get 2 more Mark IIs.
Yeah.
You get a Chewbacca.
Yeah, you do get a
an
Chewbacca.
FD cannon.
And
another set of Tauntauns. And that box was $150.
Yeah, you're just straight up getting... I mean, you get... I guess R2 and C-3PO, Yay!
I mean, R2 and C-3PO are just kind of there in either box that you're looking at, and so like, and I will argue that like Chewbacca kind of feels a little weird here without Han. Like I think Han really makes Chewbacca work well inside of the Echo Base Battle Force. So I definitely think that that's a thing. Also, just as an FYI for those at home, in case you don't know what a battle force is, just a quick 101 here. The battle forces are like kind of sub factions inside of your faction that if you pick a specific I don't want to say specific loadout, but basically if you pick a specific one of these like sub-factions, you get then specialty builds that you can do with battle forces that you can't normally do. So you can have more core troopers than you can normally have, or you have less of these other things, so that way you can have more AT-STs than you're normally allowed to take. Also, this normally comes with specific command cards for that battle force that can only be used if you're doing those battle forces. So just as an FYI of like what a battle force is, and the fact that they exist.
It's a nice way to mix things up from like generic Legion. You can change your force org a little bit, maybe take some new command cards. Sometimes you get a specialty unit, and they're like snapshots of iconic moments, like Echo Base is hop.
I will argue that I think that they're a great way of being able to play your faction differently. Because sometimes it's just like the limitations that your faction has doesn't really let you do specific styles of gameplay, and some of these will let you do that, right? Like if you want to have a ton of vehicles, you can't really do that inside of the Empire, but if you do the battle force that lets you do that, then you're like, all right, now I got 3 AT-STs, and I can still have the speeder bikes, and I can do all this other stuff, and now you're like, you're really in it doing like heavy armor, and that's fun, and that's cool, and I think that is a very fun and neat thing, and I love that that is a way to do it. That's how if you're looking at the Rebel list, same thing of just like you have the Echo-based defenders, and Echo-based defenders really kind of emphasizes the defending part. You're using a lot of the FD cannons and the Mark IIs. You're doing a lot of things that are just like, let me put standbys on everything, which you don't normally play a lot of standbys, and so now you're like getting a ton of those to try to really like hold the line basically, and have like having like a firing line rather than just like moving your units up and things like that. So I think that's cool.
Feels like a very in the trenches type style of Rebel list. I would love if they got a little bit of. I would love to have some rules and like a little refresh on some of the wordings on cards and stuff for them. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but regardless, I mean, it is a feels bad when a direct comparison is made to the previous one. So I would say if you can find the old Blizzard Force box, it's probably a better deal unless you really want that Leia model, which is cool. You get the Leia sculpt and the hop gear. That's great. It's a real cool sculpt.
And I will say, I would like to remind people that they did mention with all of these new battle forces that are coming out that these are limited time things. Not trying to put FOMO into people's hearts or anything, but I do want to point that out, that they, unlike how we previously have been kind of a little spoiled and having had access to some of these like Battle Force boxes at any point in time that we wanted to, in fact that they became very good jumping off points for people to join into the game at. It was just like, when I started, I bought the Echo-based Defender box because everybody was like, hey, if you want to start, buy that and like 2 things that you like and you'll have a list. And I was like, okay, and that's what I did because it was on sale.
So you like really don't need this thing because it's just like more of what you already have.
I mean, yeah, and like I like I like all of the models. I think that they're very I like the new sculpts. I think that that's cool. I really appreciate that. I appreciate that like they're doubling down on their like super squads. They want to see more super squads.
Wish there was another FD.
And so like part of that entire thing of them being like, hey, we want to see more super squads is like they're making that into the box as well, and that's why you're getting 2 super squads of vets and not 4 squads of vets in there. But I would argue that 4 squads of vets is better because you have 4 Mark IIs then, and the Mark IIs are good.
Yeah, and that's kind of traditionally how you see that built too. It's like you don't really take a super squad, you kind of take the base squad and the Mark Blaster. because you're trying to like stretch activations out. At least that's what I've seen. And so like, yes, it's cool to have the super squad, but like not having the mark blasters kind of puts you in this situation where like, well, I need to buy more squads to get more mark blasters.
Yeah, and I think that unlike how the starter sets came with all of their core units also being re-released, in that we aren't getting vets outside of this. You're even with on the Empire side, we're not getting snow troopers outside of it. Yeah, and so I don't know when that's gonna drop, but like this is gonna be your only way to get the new models of vets and snow troopers. And I'm just like,
for at least a little bit, yeah.
At least a little bit, which I understand.
They'll eventually release it, but like if you need them now, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it in a way that like before, I think it was bad that they released the cores with the starter boxes, because there was no reason for you to buy like 2 sets of cores, because it was the cost of a starter box, and so you should just buy the starter box.
Right.
Like that was just like that was the end of that. And so it was like, yeah, that's what you should do. These are a little bit more expensive than calculus. That. Like, but again, even this being slightly more expensive than what we got from like the starters, it's like
it's still a good deal.
It's still a good deal.
Yeah.
Like I would still buy this rather than buying 2 things veterans.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, like
but also veterans are like kind of the worst core that Rebel have, so I don't know why you would really do that in the first place.
I mean, I'm getting one solely because I can use 2 more squads of vets and a Tauntaun, and I'm like, okay, check. That gets its value back, and I only need like 3 of the units, and I like to have the cool Leia sculpt as well. I don't need R2 and C-3PO. Probably trade that to somebody in the store that needs it, and then be done with that. But it's a good value. You're still getting like a couple units kind of freebies are thrown in here, so you can do the math and justify whether or not that's a good purchase for you or not.
As we pointed out, in the context of dollar value, great. In the context of like value of what you're getting from this box versus the previous edition of this box,
that's what's rough.
Yeah, like that's the thing that it's like, no, this isn't as good.
Honestly, wouldn't it like the best way to build, like if you had like all the stuff, would be to kind of snag the old box and the new box. That would give you like your 6 vets.
Oh, that'd be
You'd have enough Tauntauns. Well, you'd have 3 Tauntauns, I guess. You'd have to find one somewhere else, but you'd actually have like a really full functioning. Oh yeah, yeah, the Hauntauns.
Go buy the Hauntauns. Yeah.
You'd have like a full functioning like themed Echo base army at that point. If you could get both, it was like $300 for a whole army's not bad.
No, not at all. And just so we can flip over and do our Empire side justice, that they have their Blizzard Force box coming out at the same time, and that's got Vader, 2 sets of Imperial probe droids, 2 super squads of snowtroopers, and a super squad of stormtroopers. So again, same price, about the same point value. I did a rough run just to see. It's like, you know, base super squads of all of these and everything. Like you're hitting the same like point value inside of your game, so you're still probably able to pick one of these up and have a 600 point army pretty easily that you could then play a recon game with and kind of go from there. So I think that's not a bad. These are still great ways of people starting out. If you didn't pick up one of the starters, these are also there. It just also feels bad when I look at what the Blizzard Force has here, and then seeing the old Blizzard Force that came with an ATST, and I'm just like, instantly that is worth the $10 other.
Even the bikes too. Like you could almost pick 2 of these old Blizzard boxes up and be set. You maybe want to pick up some storms, but everybody that's an Empire player has stormtroopers. So, like it's kind of a similar situation. Like, yes, it's a good value. Like, it's definitely a good value, but like, I'm looking at it like I don't need more stormtroopers. So like, I'm gonna get it solely because I need probe droids and I need the snowtroopers. So that works out. I think that's kind of like the question you ask yourself on these boxes, like, do I need 3 of these things? If the answer is yes, probably a good deal for you.
Then you're just like, yeah, that's probably worth it. And I think that's a great way of looking at it, right? Like if you're gonna end up spending, you know, if you're trying to buy 3 of these things, right, as you pointed out, Yeah, like this is a much better way to go. Like, do you need another sculpt of Darth Vader in a different pose? No, but you'll gladly take it if you're already going to spend money to get 2 sets of probes, right? Because that's not that's two probes there, and also if you're gonna then buy 2 snowtroopers, it's like, well, at that point, you might as well get the extra Stormtrooper and get the extra Darth Vader model and call it a day.
Exactly. And there's a lot of, such Snowtroopers are great right now. Like, there's a lot of people that need 6 Snowtroopers, and, like, I would say this is probably your best bet at getting it. You can max both your probe droids out and your Snowtroopers out. Like, I think it's good for, even if you're not a Blizzard Force player, you solely just want to run some more Snows and have your probe droids. It's a good buy just for that alone. There is a justification for going at this instead of, like, if I'm trying to get a brand new Empire player into the game, you can almost go this route over the starter box. You're going to be missing the tools, but
you'll be missing
depending on what you want to do, because there's not unless you're like doing like Stormtrooper Battalion or like wanting to really go heavy into the storms. If you want snowtroopers, like this is, going to be the only way you can get it, and it's like the most cost-effective way to get it.
Also, just to mention that both of these boxes do come with a set of cards. It does say contents 29 cards are included inside of the Blizzard Force box, and I'm just checking real quick here on the Echo Base box that I think it's roughly the same. 26 cards on the Echo Base, so that's obviously the cards for that
it's like Battle Force cards, right?
Yeah, I was going to say it's that Battle Force cards, and it's that in several different languages. Because I was like, I know a lot of people are looking at this and trying to go like, how are you getting 26 cards out of this? And it's like, because it's coming in 4 languages. So, it's 26 divided by 4 or 5 or however many. It's 4 languages. I think we got it in there now.
Cool. Yeah, it's a good. It's good value. I think if you could get. It's another situation. If you could find the old one and get the new one, that's probably going to be your most rounded option and quickest route to glory if you're trying to like really do Blizzard Force. The Blizzard Force likes to run the bikes too. There's like so like you kind of like you don't have a way to get bikes in this.
It feels weird because I feel like they really emphasized the Rebel Vets and the Snowtroopers in both of these sets over everything else, which I would argue is not the thing that gives it the flavor, like that Battle Force the flavor, or that iconic moment.
Yeah.
Right? Is like the Echo Base one, the fact that it came with an FD cannon, and like the second you see that FD cannon, like, you boom, know where that's at. It doesn't need to be painted. You know that thing was on Hoth. You saw it at the Battle of Hoth. You have played Star Wars Battlefront. You have jumped behind one of those things before. Like, you know that.
You have sat there for at least 30 minutes shooting the enemy AT-ST with it until it finally died.
Yeah, like, you have done that, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but I'm just saying it's like, that's the iconic thing, right? Like, the iconic thing is the Tauntauns and the Mark IIs, and we get not a ton of that in this, whereas we got a ton of that in the other one.
They're very core heavy.
Yeah, and I think the same thing with the Blizzard Force is the same way, is that, like, I mean, less the speeder bikes, but definitely the AT-ST is, like, I can't think of a time that I have, in any game that I have played, where I have fought on the Battle of Hoth, that it wasn't an AT-AT and AT-STs. That I was in a, when I'm flying around on a T-47 and taking those things out.
Yeah, no T-47s in either box either. That's what's really shocking.
You.
I'm like, this is like the that's like just seems like a missed opportunity.
People legitimately call them snow speeders as a slang term because everyone knows what that means.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, it's the snow speeder because it's the one from the snow planet.
One from the snow planet.
And everyone's like, yeah. And so that's the thing, is like, I don't know why the T-47 was never in either of the Echo Base boxes, because I was like, that should be there. That should be the thing.
It's iconic. Yeah, especially when you look at it mirroring, like, the old boxes had the AT-ST in it. Yeah, I remember kind of, like, shaking my head when it came out. I was like, interesting. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, like, I think if you wanted to have, like, a full-scale, like, draw out in that thing and just be like, okay, iconic moments of Hoth. I don't really think about the snowtroopers that much. I'm thinking about the AT-AT and the snow speeders, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking about that moment when they do the whole lasso thing and you bring it down.
Yeah.
Like,
And like the core, definitely, like the core, like the rebel uniform and the snowtrooper uniform is like a part of it. But like it's nice. What was nice about the last box is like they kind of brought the utility pieces that you needed to make the list out. And it started like at the time everybody usually had their core already built out for the most part. So like those boxes were providing more of the other, like, oh, you need more bikes now. You need an ATST now to do this. You need Tauntauns now to do this. You didn't have a reason to own 4 Tauntauns. Well, now you do. Here's a box that's going to give that to you, and seems to be more. It's a good value, but it's like leaning more into the core versus your supports, your special forces, your vehicles, the other stuff to supplement the core. Which is kind of odd why they sort of play real nice together if you can get one of each, but that's not really doable anymore. No. It's hard.
Yeah, like I have seen very few places that still have access to
if you find it, grab it.
100%.
I'm kicking myself right now. We were like trying to give away Echo-based Defender boxes last year. They were like 70% off like a couple years ago.
And I think that even this, like looking at these, is like there is a part of me that looks at it and just goes, maybe this is how they do the first version of these, and that because they're limited time special edition print,
they can always just remix it. Like, that's what's nice. It's not like this is set in stone forever. They could totally just be like, here's the Blizzard Force 2 box, and maybe it has 4 bikes, 2 ATSTs, and like like all the other gear.
Maybe that one comes with like the Hauntauns and the Tauntauns, and a bunch of other stuff, and they just didn't want to do it now. Because they want you to buy those separately, and then like they'll bundle that all later after people have bought it, and there's like, oh hey, if you're trying to like get into an endpoint, here's a way that we can bundle all this stuff together and give you that point together, which is fair. It's
great.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a good way of doing this.
It's flexible.
Like I hate that we have something that is FOMO basically. I really don't like the fact that they're making a thing that does this, where it's like, if you want it, you got to get it now because it won't be on the shelves later. Which is like, I understand why they do that, because they can't keep supporting it being on the shelf, and so it does end up being this limited time thing. But I do feel like that's the problem. Is then it's like, but like, do you buy this because it's not going to be there in a couple months, and then are they going to... They haven't announced that they're going to revisit those, and I would hope that they would revisit with a different setup and not just be like, hey, this is what we did 2 years ago, so we're just like doing a limited print run and doing that same thing again.
Right.
Like, I don't think that that's a good idea in any sort of way.
For sure. Yeah, and like, I mean, you can always go and buy this stuff individual, but it's never going to be as good of a deal. But and plus the limited edition Vader and Leia is, if you like to collect all the poses, like, this is the only way to do it for now, at least.
And like, that just goes back to the same conversation that we've had here, and I've had with a lot of people. It's like, hey, I like the fact that we have all of these like different editions of Leia and Vader and all of this stuff, and if you want to collect it, you can, and you don't need to.
Yeah,
I just. Like, I think that's a great thing. Is like, if you want to collect 10 different poses of Vader, have fun, go for it. It's like, go do that.
That's what we need, more Vader poses.
I want to
see of Vader.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I want to see more variants of things that I've already seen, and not just from people hobby, but just because it's like, hey, somebody won Adepticon, and so they got a special edition,
those Vaders and Obi-Wans are...
Yeah,
those are gold. If you get like that OG limited edition Obi-Wan,
like, I think those are fine. I think that's a fun way of doing things, because it's not like you're not taking that piece out of the game, right? It's not like the only way to get that piece in the game is by being number 1 at the tournament or whatever. So I feel like that's a good way of just like, hey, you feel cool because you're like blinging out your set, right? And like, everyone else can see that it's like, oh, you got the official cool thing, and like, everyone thinks that's neat, but you're not affecting the core gameplay.
Yeah, for sure. And overall, it allows them to be flexible at the end of the day. Like, I would hate for it to be like, oh, well, we're not releasing any army bundle boxes because it's hard to, I don't know, like, it's hard for us to source enough sprues of snowtroopers to make this box work, so there's just not going to be another Blizzard Force or like something like that. Like, they could just easily pivot the model and be like, this is the new box, and drop it that way, and that way players still have a way to get a good value. And like with these things, like, make friends, talk to community members. Like, maybe you don't need all the snows. Find somebody that does, and split them up. Like that's also a great thing. So you can kind of piece each other's collections out, like splitting these boxes up with each other.
Yeah, there may be people who only want the Leia, and so
there's definitely going to be people that just want that model. So
exactly.
like you can totally make that.
Chip in for that, and then you can get your 2 sets of vets out of it, and just be like, hey, I just wanted to have super squads of vets, and now I can do super squads of vets.
Yeah,
like I think that's fine. I think that's neat.
Great.
I definitely think that more people need to make friends and talk to the people at their stores and share.
It's a social game.
it's a great way of doing that, and especially everybody who just bought all of the boxes and everything. I'm sure people have extra dice, extra tools. Yeah. So if you buy this, if you're brand new to the game and you're buying one of these and you're going, okay, well now I need to go get the tools. Ask the community. I bet there's somebody who's just got like an entire set of rulers and things that they don't use and go, here. Yeah. I bought too many extra. Take mine.
Yeah. Maybe you need you need snow troopers or something. There's definitely a lot of Empire players that already got their 6 snows, and like I'm sure there's ways to piece this out and develop the community and fill everyone's collections. Yes.
So let's take a larger view at this and talk about just Battle Forces as a whole, right? Like let's step away from the Blizzard Force and the Echo-based Defenders, and let's just look at everybody as a whole, as all of their Battle Forces. Like, how are you feeling about the current state of Battle Forces in the game?
That's a loaded question, but in general, I think they're great. I love the concept. It allows a lot of design room, and like you said earlier, it gives you an opportunity to play a faction differently. I think most notable, like we're seeing like 212 that just dropped. I've never had a reason to field 3 sabers. I've never had really a reason to run vehicle heavy list in general in GAR, and now like, oh, this is like a real cool way to do it. Now I have my little tank platoon, and like I've never been that person that brings all the tanks, or like Empire has Tempest Force that does a similar thing with like triple ATSD. I love that it gives you a way to play the stuff that you already have in a very different way and utilize different strategies. It breathes a lot of life into your factions, and it can give you a different angle to work, and I think it's always a great thing. So overall, I think it's great. Not all of these are equal, though, so that's kind of why it's a loaded question. Some of these are garbage, but some of them are pretty solid. Like there's a range. We could do a tier list video on all of these.
I 100% agree with you on this. It's like, I like the idea. Mm-hmm. I think it's a little weird that some factions get a lot more play in this area than others.
Yeah.
And then some factions who are only a battle force, really, really sad.
Right. Yes.
Like shout out to the Shadow Collective just existing out there as only a battle force that has no love, and I'm just like,
we got so many at our local store that do Shadow Collective, and like my hearts just go out to them every Thursday when we play. I'm like, y'all are just you're doing what you can.
Yeah, I just feel bad that they don't have more variant and there's not more ability for them to like be able to mix and match their stuff. And I'm just like, can we not help them out? Like, can we make a couple more things? Especially now that we have the Weequay pirates in here as well. Like,
maybe it's on the horizon too. That it does give you like that just endless kind of hope. Like, oh, they could always just release a battle force for this. Maybe you play Empire and your faction's only good if you run battle forces. Like you can't.
And maybe that's why the Empire has 4 battle forces, right. Whereas it's 4 compared to the 3 that you have over at GAR, right. And then the 2 that you have with everyone else. Right. Like it does seem that maybe Empire gets a little more battle force love than everyone else does, but also like,
no one's upset about it. They have a lot of iconic moments.
I've seen the stats on their win rates without being a battle force, and it
takes a special player to take Vanilla Empire and do well with it. There are players that do it. I'm gonna want to put that out there. It's not impossible, but it is like you takes a skilled player to drive Vanilla Empire and do it really well.
And I would like to also just point out that if you're going to take battle forces, take the advantage of everything that battle force has. I have seen several times now that people have just been like, oh yeah, I'm playing X battle force, and then used none of the battle force command cards.
It's very odd.
And it just feels off because at that point it's like, well, then why are you playing that Battle Force? Like, you could just have a normal list and have all of those command cards. Like, you're not utilizing the fact that Battle Force has like the ability to have more core than your normal list or something like that. Yeah. And it's like, okay, then
you should pick something and try to work at it if you're going to use these. Don't just pick them, willy-nilly and just be like, like if you're running 212, for example, and the only reason you're doing it is because you like orange on your clones, you can just paint vanilla clones and make them orange. Like, if you're running 212, you probably want to lean towards vehicles and stuff in like play style philosophy. And if you hate vehicles, but you like orange clone troopers, just run regular clone list with orange clone troopers, just as an example.
I saw someone do a Tempest Force, and they did Tempest Force, and they had only 2 ATSTs. And I was like...
Were they doing, like, scouts for days? Like, I can see that. Oh, no, they just... they're just like... It was just a vanilla Empire list.
Yeah, and like... Thankfully,
you get some cards.
Person was using the cards.
Yeah,
for it,
I can see
was
the
appreciating. But that was the thing that I was like, man, if you're not utilizing the 3rd ATST slot,
that is kind of its whole thing. Or scouts forever. That's kind of the.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know, if you're just like trying to run a double ATST list, might as well like get cool command cards for it too. I guess. I mean, it's not like the greatest. Probably not the greatest way to do it, but it's a. I can see it. I can see if you only have the 2. But yeah, I mean, I guess we can go through like just like a kind of a brief overview of these if you.
Yeah, so we let's start out as I mentioned. We have the Shadow Collective. That's just that is the one itself.
For Shadow Collective.
Yeah, which like, man, I want this to look so cool. On the bright side,
believe it or not, there was a time in the dark days before the Empire where Shadow Collective was just hey, I'm here to shoot you off the board and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. It's not the days anymore, though. But, yep. Yeah, it's kind of hard. I feel like Shadow Collective has really suffered into the new edition. They just didn't really get super revamped. A lot of their stuff is kind of suffered just from rules changes, just the game state changing. It's not really their individualness. It's just this is the thing that we did. The game has changed and we have not. And that's kind of what they're suffering from right now. But yeah, Shadow Collective, it's the mercenary faction. You're supposed to bring you got your Pikes, your Black Suns, you got Shadow Collective Maul, so the cool Robo Leg version of him. That's the jam. You got Boss Cadbane as well, and Savage when he comes out.
Maybe in the future you'll see Maul's brother.
Also he's in there. He is in the Force Org already. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Gar Saxon, the Mandalorians. That's one of the cool things. If you like the Super Mando, so the Season 7 Clone Wars arc, you can build that out. It's definitely on theme for all the Battle Forces tend to kind of take a snapshot of a particular moment in the story, so it's definitely you can do some cool stuff with that.
Going from one Battle Force with Maul to another Battle Force that you can have Maul in, you also have the Separatist invasion over with the CIS.
Yeah.
And that really gives you a feel. I feel like they're trying to just be hey, you're showing up with the B1s and you're taking
do B1s. The billion B1 list just for the meme. It's so many bodies. I think this is supposed to be your kind of almost Naboo theme. Not quite. It's not specifically Naboo theme, but just your like it says, the Separatist invasion force. This is what you envision when the CIS is invading a planet. It's oh, sweet. They brought a billion B1s and somebody's going to be there leading them. So pick your character of choice.
I mean, speaking of Naboo and Battle Forces, Gungans when Will Gungans when
someday. I teed that up. Punch our bingo card for Gungans.
Where they at?
But yeah, I mean, as far as Separatist invasion, I think if you want to do the whole, I want to hoard out B1s. I think you can take you have to take a tank, and it's only the AAT.
You have to take the AAT.
Yeah, I think you get some command cards with this. I can't remember. No, yes, you do. There are some command cards with this one, I believe. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. If you want to run all of it, the box, if you can find it, is a good value too. You get a lot of stuff in it. But yeah, it's if you want to hoard out on all like the droids and be very hoardy, this is the sort of the vibe with Separatist Invasion Force. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
And then also rounding out the Separatist army, their other battle force that you can do is the experimental droids.
Yes, this is another one that was like the big bad wolf in Old Legion, but it's another one of the game changed and we didn't sort of battle forces. Notably, you can get a special unit with this. You get the special Magna Guard, or like what is the special series prototype assassin droids. So use Magna Guard models for those. Haven't really ever seen them be effective ever, but you can do it if you want. They're there. It's a cool unit card. You can run something different if you want. Yeah, this is. I mean, the art's very Kashyyyk. So you also get a special. You get the special snail tank. So that's one of the really cool things. So it's like very Kashyyyk, and then you get the build like really cool command card effect, or not the battle force effect itself, being able to spend like surge tokens for speed increases, aim, dodges, adding dice. That was a really big one. And can remove 2 suppression, I suppose. But if you're picking I don't pretend to have a lot of experience running this, but I do know like if you're trying to run this, you need to really be trying to utilize these army rules specifically to like buff certain units that this list has access to. So like commando droids, adding dice to like sniper shots is like a thing. Speed boost is always good if you have a unit you're like, man, one of these units I really want to run, but like they can't quite get as much as mobility as they need. Okay, well you have some solves for here, so it's a cool. You can do things you normally kind of do, but
yeah. The one thing that I will say about some of these battle forces that I like versus others, which we'll get into in the future of this, is that all of those things are buffs or unique things that you can have without having to buy a unit specifically for that battle force that has no other purpose.
Yeah.
Right? Like, as you just mentioned, it's like, yeah, you can have the snail tank, but you can also put the snail tank in a normal Separatist list.
Different kind of snail tank, but yeah.
Yeah. It's a different one,
different
right?
one.
Like, you don't have the prototype that and the prototype assassin droids. Like, you have normal Magna Guards and not the prototype assassin droids. But you can use them for the other thing, where there are some units in future battle forces that we'll talk about in a second here that you can't do that, which seems weird that that's their only use case. And then it's just like, well, then what? Why am I buying this?
This is a side note. You know what I just realized? The new Super Tac basically does all of these army buffs, but better. And notably, you can't take the Super Tac in here either. So, or at least the new customizables. But like, increase your speed by 1. You know what's better than that? Just taking a free speed 2. You can also get aims and dodges from them. You can remove 2 suppression. You can't add dice to the pool. That's the only thing you can't do. And I was kind of laughing to myself as I realized that. I'm like, It's another one that I would love to see, like a little bit of. I personally would love to see something updated here because it feels very left behind. But maybe the idea is like you release the Battle Force, leave it as it is, and make a new one or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's
I would
not
like
my
to
job.
see more Battle Forces in the game. Like, I would like to see them add more, especially to factions that don't have a lot of that. And I think some of that is also, like I said, is like, if you're going to do that, though, please give us the option of being able to use these in more than just the battle force of whatever unit that you buy. Because when you buy a unit that is only for that battle force and that's it,
that's what's hard.
Does feel a little weird that you can't bring it to anything else. It's like it becomes its own faction almost at that point,
right?
Because it's like, well,
it's like what Shadow Collective has, right? I mean, they can mercenary in, but it's
but I mean, I think Shadow Collective has a large issue of that. Is just like, well, if you can't put it in anyone else's stuff, like, what are you doing with half of this stuff?
Yeah.
Bright Tree is the one.
That's a good segue into Rebels because the ATSD.
Because I was gonna say the Chewbacca ATSD. There is one that has been sitting on my store's shelf.
So you're a solo Rebel player, so like that's like the only. Right. Like unless you play Rebels and
I'm sorry that
Empire.
I don't have the money to buy that many Ewoks, which I think is the other end of it. Right? Is that like
There's never an Ewok Battle Force box, which would have been really sweet if there was some sort of bundle box. There never was.
100%, especially because like you need so many to be able to do that Battle Force specifically that it's just like you're not really using Ewoks elsewhere. I mean, you can,
like,
but not of that number in caliber.
Right. And no list can take 80 of them like Brightree can.
Yeah, like it feels bad then when I'm looking at some of this stuff and I'm just like, I'm not gonna buy this because I can't use it in anything else. Like I can't swap them into my my Echo base list or whatever.
Right.
Like,
they're kind of like you do this or you
uses
don't.
one thing.
Yeah, I think they do try, especially with the new ones. It seems like they've avoided that. Brightree, I think, was out before them, and it's hard. Sometimes it is hard. Like Brightree, like you kind of have to do the thing. Like these are indoor units, and like without just breaking the lore in half, like you sometimes have to do some stuff to just to get the point across, the narrative moment apart or across in endless building. But yeah, hopefully that doesn't become a thing, and I don't think it will. I don't think they like. It's also bad on their end too if they have just units sitting on the shelf. It's bad for just sales. So
like that. Like I said, there has been an Chewbacca ATSD that has sat in my store for over a year and sat on the shelf because of the fact that nobody plays.
Yeah, because it's just its own thing, right? It's not like It's not an Imperial ATSD with the Chewie model. It's a. I mean, I guess you could buy it that way and do that.
Yeah, that's the thing that I then start questioning is like the same way that we have different boxes for ATRTs, which is weird to me. Because it's like,
you could totally just swap the driver out. Like,
I don't understand why we don't have that. Like, I am when I first was looking at buying ATRTs, I almost ended up buying the Republic ones because I thought that that's exactly what it was that they had both in the box, and then I could just either swap out the model of the guy or whatever that I glued on, and it's like, okay, cool, there you go, and now it's
just a rebel trooper that found some clone armor. Just
because the ATRT itself is the same in both boxes, so the only difference is the fact that there is a different person that's sitting on it, and at that point I'm just like, well, then why did you not just put that in the box?
Yeah.
Like that just makes a lot of sense, and now you make one product that both of the people are gonna buy rather than two products, and hopefully people are buying either one that they need. Right. I don't know. It just seems like a weird thing to me, and I don't love that aspect of some of these, and so. I love that how they, as you said, even the newer ones that they're doing things where they're like, hey,
you can put both
here's ways that you can use this stuff outside of your battle forces and aren't specific to just it. Like, it's nice to have it the flavor, but it's also better to not have useless units that you buy and can't use for anything else.
Yeah, the ATSD approach I think is a little bit because they do give you both. That is, it kind of helps, but oh well. That's what we got.
So going back to the Rebel ones, just because we've talked about the Echo-based Defenders in Brightree Village, it's like, hey, Echo-based Defenders, it's fun.
It's a hot thing.
I think prepared positions needs to be figured out first, and then Echo-based will be good or bad. Like, it just seems like it's in a weird place ever since we've started 2.6, and so prepared positions, it's just like, it feels bad to literally line up all of your guys, and you put all of your miniatures out, and then before half of them have activated, they're dead.
Yeah, and the changes to standbys really, 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 really hurt this list, and not being able to like you used to be able to force push somebody into trip standbys, and you can't do that anymore. And so it's just like it's that hurts the list a lot. And the game's really mobile right now. You have a lot of guys that are
very
slow.
mobile.
And maybe it could change the objectives. Like, it could.
I'm kind of hoping that. I'm kind of hoping that we'll see some maybe more like defensive objectives, and so then it's just like, hey, yeah, bring 2 FD cannons, stick them right next to the thing, and nobody will get near it. And so like, that'll be pretty nice if we have things like that. If that come, like, I would love to see that.
It's such an iconic moment. One of our
for right now. As much as we've talked about those boxes and how Echo-based Defenders is pretty decent, I would say the value is there, but are you going to win games with it? Probably not.
It's going to look cool.
It looks cool. It's fun to play. It's a lot different. It's a very different than how you normally play.
Different play style for sure.
Yeah. And
don't expect to 6-0 a convention with it. No. That's recalibrate your expectations.
Yeah.
Your enthusiasm.
Looking at, then you got Bright Tree Village on the Rebel side as well, and Bright Tree Village, I'm just okay. I haven't seen a single person actually table this in my entire life of 2.6. I haven't seen a single person just put all of these Ewoks on the table and play Bright Tree.
We have some locals that run it. Funny enough, one of the same locals runs Echo Base and Bright Tree. It's just all the
Do they hate themselves? I'm wait, I'm not trying to throw shade.
Ewoks do have some play. I think the biggest thing that keeps Ewoks from showing up is just how hard it is to collect them. To be honest, definitely a good list though. There's some stuff you can do with Bright Tree that's fairly competitive.
And Ewoks are cheap. I see Ewoks in Rebel lists all the time because of how cheap Ewoks are.
Wicket and two Slinger squads is really in right now. I mean, it's just a nice little raiding party you can slot into your list. It's sweet. Mm-hmm. That rounds the Rebel ones out. You get those two. You get the Indoor, and you get Hoth, which is really cinematic moments. I'm glad they're there.
And we've talked about the 212 attack battalion. That Gar has, which is if you're trying to try out having a bunch of pieces of armor, I think that's a pretty fun way to doing it.
Triple Saber, ISPs, you can do all your walkers and stuff. ARC troopers buff it a little bit. I don't think it's quite worth it, but it's something you can do. It's a cool list. It's been fun to see people trying this out, and putting a bunch of Saber tanks on the board and stuff. It's another one that pulls eyes.
Three Saber tanks is terrifying. So
beam for days. This is my tank battalion.
Also going with Gar, we have the Wookiee Defenders, which
photograph.
No! Stop that right now. I'll mute you so we don't summon him.
Right. Wookiee Defenders.
We're trying to end this show, not make it last another 2 hours.
That's right. If you like to run all the Wookiees, this is where you do it. Yeah. Again, this is a recalibrate your enthusiasm sort of build. You are doing this for the theme and for the love of the game, not necessarily the love of winning the game. I'll just put it that way. So.
I agree. This one is not powerful, but it is fun.
It is really cool.
And I'm okay with that. I like having stuff that's just fun to play. Right. It doesn't have to always be a thing that's I play this and win.
Yeah. Notably, they are, at least from what we've heard in podcasts and interviews with Wills, this is something that's getting looked at. So Wookiees and stuff are getting looked at, so you can probably reasonably expect some sort of change happening here. This list also gets the Special Fighter Craft, which is actually pretty good because of how fast it is. There's something worth putting out there. But
and then rounding out the Gar list, you have the 501st.
501st, yeah. I love the 501st. It's one of my personal favorites. But yeah, if you like to do Anakin and you like a bunch of ARC troopers, this is your list. So Anakin and ARC troopers.
Stupidly good.
Stupidly good. It's not
the amount of ARC troopers that you have in this list is insulting to me.
For ARC troopers, there was a period where this was really overtuned. I think it's now kind of back where it needs to be. You can do good with this. It's not.
They've tweaked it a bit. I agree.
Yeah.
It's not as broken as it once was at the start of 2.6. I think this was real good.
Yeah. You don't see it sweeping any big tournaments anymore, but it's definitely skirmishable. You can do well with this. If you like Anakin and ARC troopers, this is where you should go. So
a specific person used that in a recon game that we played.
That is true. I did it specifically
and kicked my butt with it.
ARC troopers are good at recon.
Once again, proving my hatred of ARC troopers.
I didn't bring Anakin, did I? No. Yeah, that was just generic. I just took a generic officer and a bunch of ARC troopers.
And you still kicked my butt. And it was fun to play. It was fun to play against, but it does solidify my hatred of ARC troopers. And
it's really weird they don't take you can still take 4 ARC troopers at recon. That's what I feel like. It's more of an oversight on the recon rules, but yep.
And then going over to the Empire, who gets the most love out of all of this. I was gonna say, so they have the Blizzard Force, which we've talked about, which is pretty solid. Snowtroopers, people like them.
Lots of bikes. ATSTs, Veers.
ATSTs,
You get some command cards that are good too. Yeah, if you like the blizzardy Hoth scene, this is for you. Also, in bikes, there's a justification. If you like to do a lot of bikes, you can run 4 of them. No, that's all I have to say about that. You can do like the quad bike thing.
And we also briefly had mentioned the Tempest Force, which is the one that allows you to have more ATSTs in your list, which is always fun.
Now, and Scouts too are good.
Yeah, and now that does limit your ability to have. I don't think you can have Vader. I think that's like the limitation is like you can have more armor but no Vader.
Yeah, no Vader. You got the card that the command cards in this are really what kind of elevates it. So like the one that gives you standbys on like on all your ATSTs is kind of nice. And there's a lot of cards that just buff your vehicles in here. So really, this is kind of like it is like the triple ATST list, like as far as where the command cards are doing. I think there's some that help the scout troopers out, but yeah, if you want to hoard down on scout troopers or do triple ATST, that's sort of the vibe here.
Yeah, and then the everyone's favorite out of the Empire list is the Imperial Remnant.
Remnant's so cool. I love Remnant.
Yeah.
That's this is like where I find myself if I'm trying to build Empire competitive, like as a now, I'm usually looking at Remnant, sometimes Battalion, Stormtrooper Battalion, but Remnant is so cool.
Remnant A has the flavor that everybody likes out of the Empire, and B I think has the ability to make Empire a lot more I don't want to say usable because that seems rude, but usable.
Well, all of their units, it's because you get free tokens. All of their units have keywords that like really mostly aims will take advantage of aim tokens, and like this is a way to get aims before pre-activation aim tokens, which is really hard to get. Notably, I would argue that Remnant is probably the most unique of all the battle forces in the game, because of how much like you can swap heavy weapons in and out on these guys. It feels very like this is the remnant of the Empire, like just kind of working with what they got. They gain independent, so that's how you're getting those free tokens and stuff. Moff Gideon, of course, and Dark Troopers. If you like to do Dark Troopers, this is probably something to look at. There's a lot of play there, and probably the only way to run Death Troopers well, if you're wanting to do that. I don't feel like that's too hot of a take. Death Troopers are really hard to get aim tokens on. They have precise 2. This is the way you can get them a free aim token and get them a cheaper heavy weapon too. So you can it's kind of, you can mix and match whatever you want. It's like build an Empire unit. It's sort of way it feels.
Yeah, and then rounding out theirs, they also have the Stormtrooper Battalion.
Yeah. This is like
you want to go wide. You can stuff as many Stormtroopers as you got inside of this thing.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see. I feel like the code hasn't been cracked on this yet. I think there's some pretty competitive builds here that people aren't touching on. You can just do Vader in like a bajillion storms with an officer supporting him. Like back on the pre-activation aim thing, like the Empire. This list has some kits with the officers having target and whatnot to have those pre-activation aims. So there's some stuff here. It's cool. It is also just cool to like, here's Vader and like 70 stormtroopers, and like that's it. And it's not bad. It's not like a meme. Like it actually you'll do decent. I don't know if you're gonna win.
I mean, if you do exactly that list,
I haven't built. I haven't played it yet.
Do you auto lose or auto win? Sweeping clear. Not sweeping clear. What's the one that you need to bring them to heal, right? That's the one that you need to do suppression. Because if you have 7 things that are indomitable and you have Vader,
as long as
no one has courage.
So
you can't put a suppression on anybody.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's some cool builds. I don't know if that's good. I've only ran it without Vader, and it was shocking. I was like, my list is really freaking durable. Like, this is a lot of stormtroopers. Like, you like don't lose activations a lot. It's like, yeah, there's storms, but when you bring 70 of them, like that's a lot.
Like super troopering, you know, the super troops of stormtroopers is like scary.
Yeah,
the amount of dice that they're throwing at you, and they have red saves, and I'm just like, oh, okay, so I can't really knock this down in any way.
Yeah, and stormtroopers when they get an aim feel a lot better, especially when they get one for free, and if they can aim and shoot too. I mean, you're re-rolling a lot of dice. So it's a
that's
one.
You know a brief overview of all of the battle forces that exist inside of Legion as of right now. Mm-hmm. As of recording,
as of recording on
before you know, like we release this next week and they announce like 7 more, which would be dope, and we would cool. Love that. Gungans.
Geonosians. That's one that I'm like,
where's the Geonosian one? You're right.
Where they got that stuff?
The Geonosian one. Like I definitely think that there is room for AMG to play inside of this area to make other Battle Forces. I definitely think that as we see the Battle Force boxes coming and going, then I'm hoping that we'll see, the going of ones like the Echo-based Defenders and Blizzard Force boxes. Not saying they're bad, just like, hey, maybe we get those now, and then next year they'll do another set, and that set is something that we don't have. That's like, hey, here's a Shadow Collective box, or here's a Shadow Collective box and a bunch of Ewoks, because we've heard that you want to do Ewoks, but it's hard to get that many minis, so we've stuffed all of them into one box so you could just buy this and do your Endor Battle Force. Like, I think that would be nice. I hope that they do that and we see more things like that come out, and so that way we have more Battle Force boxes than just reprints of what we've already done.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. It'd be cool if they had like a box every time they announced one. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Probably not gonna happen, but it would be it would be cool.
I don't think
they're doing it here, but
I was gonna say I don't think we're gonna
iconic.
get every single one, but I definitely think we'll get more. Like we are aware that they're going to do a Battle Force box for the whatever that planet is.
The Min-Man one with the wet weather troopers.
With the wet weather troopers and everything. And I was like, that sounds fun. Like, that sounds like a cool Battle Force 2 play. I'm intrigued to see what that one does.
I love trench warfare because I'm weird. and I'm really pumped for that, to see how that plays. But yeah, there's lots of good stuff on the horizons. Maybe we'll have to do like us or Notorious Scoundrels. We'll have to do like a proper deep dive into these. They probably do a better job. They would do a better job than we would, but it would be cool to discuss in depth.
100%. And of course, if you want to hear more about keywords and Battle Forces and other things that the more lax things that we do, maybe even some fun games.
Wink, wink.
Maybe some fun games will also be appearing. You can always keep it locked here that we will be doing that in the future for the Fifth Trooper podcast. And if you want to actually learn how to play any of those Battle Forces or know how to be competitive in any of that, go over to the Notorious Scoundrels and go listen to what they're up to. As always, and we appreciate you being here so much, and we do it all for
the love of the game.